Hello everyone, Funky Blood here, and now I'm going to talk about Sauce by Deemz. Deemz is a Polish producer, and his new record of his debut in fact, is a mix between trap and some R&B and some country, and I have some thoughts on it. One thing to know is that this record is filled with the Polish music scene, and it is filled with guys like Tymek, Rapson, Kizo, Sobel, some pretty well-known guys at this point, but also some less known people like Ereto, QRY, Oki, and Cabe. And also some people that aren't even Polish or speak Polish, like Jay Nemor, Joseph Bratton, Nick Tendo, and Kronkel Dom. Sauce doesn't really have a premise as much as it is just a compilation of tracks Deemz has produced, and I think the inclusion of some tracks that were released as singles back in 2017 and 18 proves that some presented ideas here are about partying, being gangsta, having money, having a partner, and feeling down. And I would say that about every track here does the premise it has justice. Tracks like Crows or Pain do have genuine emotions behind them, but I think as an overall package they come out pretty mid, either because the songwriting is just basic really, and the rapping is okay. It is just comes out as decent at the end of it. Other tracks I would say are underwhelming are Jungle Attack, Fate, Wasabi, Habibi, and Syp Syppin, and they definitely have some screaming in them, but I think that they come out as mostly boring at the end of it. I like Papi Papi, but Kizo's verse on it just ruins the song, and I don't think he sounds like the worst person on earth, but he sounds so macho posturing voice of all time kind of guy. He sounds pretty bad always, and he sounds pretty bad here, and he makes the song just okay, but it could have been actually pretty great. And what could have been of Papi Papi is maybe even better on the routine, and it is a great track for sure, but the part after where the rappers whisper, like a second after they do that, the singing just becomes super high pitched, just garbage, horrendous. Like for 1 second, it's not even like a minute or half a minute, it's literally a second of it, and it sounds horrendous. just just so awful. I don't know why they didn't think to just cut it out, but they should have. Gucci Mane may sound dumb and abrasive on the first listen, but after you realize that the rappers are pretty versatile, they go from whispering to just screaming their brains out, and also the track is very visibly gaining momentum. I think it's great. On cuts like Correction or I Know So Much About You or Video, Deemz not only picks some great singers but also some great beats for them to be on top of. Like on a Video, the female singer is just perfect. I recommend the track just for her performance on it. The closer, however, blows every single track from this album out of the water, and it's because Jane Nemur just sings almost perfectly on it, and also the harmonica solo on it is also nearly perfect, maybe perfect actually, and Fukai's verse on it isn't that spectacular, but I think the previous two parts of it are just great. Also, the beat on it isn't that great on its own, but when it's combined with everything else on it, it's just as memorable as the rest of it. And I honestly think it's a 10 out of 10 track. The tracks that are more gangsta and wouldn't feel out of place at some party are I Took a Pill in Remiza, Cash, Demon Slayer, and Freestyle. Last tracks I'd like to mention are the 3 remixes at the end, and I would say that only one of them is worth a listen, and that is the I Took a Pill in Remiza one, and it's because it makes some improvements on top of the original. For one, it removes the annoying ad-libs, and it makes overall the song more dynamic. The other two don't bring that much to the table, and I don't know, maybe because their original counterparts I was and still am pretty mild on, but yeah, I'd say they were not that worthy of a listen. I definitely enjoyed this record overall, and I would say the great tracks off of it you should definitely give a try. Deemz is very versatile on this record. He makes some moments pretty somber and some moments pretty energetic and wild. And I might not enjoy every single track, but he definitely is competent here. I would point some tracks here that I enjoyed the least, like Wedding and Caution and Bird. On them, both the rapping and the songwriting is pretty lackluster, and that's pretty the lows of the record are on them. Everything besides them isn't that horrible. And 100% listen to the closer. You may not want to listen to anything in Polish. That track is mostly in English, and it is a 10 out of 10 for other reasons, but I guess it's the best song, and in English I'm going to give this record 6.3. It is okay overall, I guess, but it definitely has some great highlights on it. Video over.